What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and here I've got the exclusive OnePlus X. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick comparison to the iPhone 6s. Now, believe me, I know this phone is a budget phone. It's made for people that don't have a lot of money or don't want to spend a lot of money on a smartphone, yet get almost all of the functionality out of this phone that you'd get out of an iPhone 6s, 6, a more expensive phone. So the OnePlus X being a budget phone, in this video I want to see how it compares to a more expensive iPhone 6s. And before I even get into the details, I gotta tell you, these won't be performing on the same level. So I'm going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of both phones and pretty much just give you a good idea whether or not this phone is worth the money or you should skip it and go all the way to an iPhone 6s. So just getting this thing out of the box, I gotta tell you one thing. This phone really surprised me with its simplicity, and that's a good thing. So I noticed the design is top notch. It's made out of an onyx glass, which is a very premium feeling front and rear. The side is kind of a textured plastic feeling, but overall the phone is so small and slim for what it is. It has a larger display than the iPhone, yet it remains such a small compact phone. In all honesty, this is what I would expect the iPhone 7 to look like somewhat. So it's going to be kind of a blockier design. It's going to be very slim, less bezels on the edges, just like this thing. I love the lack of bezels. When I put it next to the 6S, both of these phones look top-notch premium. I absolutely love the slim design on the bottom of the buttons. Overall, I mean, I gotta give them props. It's a really beautiful and effective design. So even though these phones are in completely different categories price-wise, the design on both is top-notch, both have very premium materials, and both feel great in your hand. Very comfortable phones. The advantage that the X has here is that the display is slightly larger, so you get more real estate in the screen, while the phone size isn't all that much bigger. And the OnePlus X actually boasts a 0.2mm difference. It's thinner. I mean, they had to. Come on, they had to top the 6S. It's actually a little bit lighter too. It uses a little bit of plastic on the border, but overall, size-wise, these are almost identical. You won't notice that much of a difference holding one or the other in your hand. Now, getting to the displays, I was a little underwhelmed with the OnePlus X panel. It's an AMOLED panel, however, it's not the best that could be found. Of course, this is a budget phone, emphasis on that again, and it's not laminated, so there's a little gap in between the LCD and top layer glass. So the color is a little bit washed out, but more or less, it's just about as good as the iPhone 6s. That AMOLED, it has a lot of strengths like darker colors and all that good stuff such as efficiency. Now here's what we're looking at power-wise. Mid-tier specifications on the OnePlus X and the A9 on the iPhone 6s. So looks good on paper. Let's take a look in a Geekbench test in real-world performance. So with the entire app switcher cleared, I went ahead and ran Geekbench on both of these devices, and this is what I got. So more or less, I was expecting this. A little disappointed by the low-end numbers on the OnePlus X, but these phones, they're not meant to run top-end things. They'll do everything you need it to, except the more intensive stuff. That's why you would want to get a more powerful Android phone. But it's just good to know, what these phones are capable of. And when it comes to graphical performance, here's what I get. Really, no comparison here. I mean, the iPhone 6s, 6-core GPU just blows it out of the water in almost every single test. So you know what you're getting into when you're buying this, but it's a capable phone for what it is. And the actual browser compatibility score was higher on the OnePlus X. And getting to wireless, this is where the OnePlus X starts falling flat. It's using really outdated Wi-Fi technology, a lack of LTE bands, and an old version of Bluetooth 4.0 really makes this a big thumbs down for me. Camera is really basic. There are almost no settings in the camera app, just video, photo, and when you go to video, you can either choose between 1080p and 720p. No frames per second options, nothing. I mean, they make it simple. So even though there is a lack of settings, the cameras are more or less equal in terms of specs, and I was pleasantly surprised. Unless you're filming in really dark conditions, the OnePlus X is actually a really good sensor. I was really surprised about that, especially when taking photos. When provided with plenty of light, you can get some really awesome color and detail. Because speakers are important to me, I test them on all phones. I got 89 decibels on the X, and on the 6S, 97. So there is a difference there. The 6S definitely has better speakers. So at this point, it's pretty clear. The OnePlus X and the iPhone 6S aren't really true competitors. There's a huge divide between them. But there's a lot I do like about the OnePlus X, so I want to talk about the strengths of this phone. Now to start off, the price, it's $250. That is cheap. For what this thing offers, I was amazed. That is a really, really good price tag. Now the SIM card tray offers an awesome feature. You can either get 2 nano SIM cards or a micro SD and a nano SIM. This is a cheating husband starter kit. No, but really, I really love that. I've never seen that before on any other phone. Another thing that stood out to me was the simplicity. Both the user interface and hardware design blend together very well. I absolutely love the slim bezel, the very simplistic design on the outside, the buttons, and the user interface. It's a very clean OS, not a lot comes pre-installed, it's yours to customize. And I love this button right here. Sliding all the way to the left will get you no interruptions. In the middle will be priority notifications only. That's a great idea. Another thing I love is that it comes pre-installed with a screen protector. I've never seen any other phone do that as well. It's a great idea to include that. So after watching this comparison, if you leave with anything, leave knowing that this phone is very capable for the price tag. While it may not match or scale up to the iPhone 6s, it has a lot to offer for just $250. There's a lot I like about it, not much I don't like. And like I said, this design, honestly, I could see the iPhone 7 looking somewhat like this with even slimmer bezels, but it's a very beautiful design. I'm amazed that a company can come up with so much with just a small amount of money to start with. Now, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this comparison. Let me know what you guys think about this phone down below in the description, and be sure to check out the Nexus 5X comparison and HTC A9. Both very similar phones in the same price range. And whichever phone you choose, you can't go wrong with either one. Have a great day. Enjoy the phone you do decide to choose. Peace.